Hello, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the one-shot boss killer build guide walkthrough. This video is going to be a heavily edited run through the rest of the Ashes of Malmouth DLC. I'm going to complete that, kill all the bosses at the end of that, do all that stuff, and do a few random secondary quests such as this thing where you meet Dahlia in Morndale. You go and get a couple of Dravis's bits and pieces to hand in to her. In this video I'll be getting up to level 62, including all the attribute and skill point allocations plus a bunch of shrines. I do go off at a couple of tangents because the way I'm playing is I'm always thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead, but my problem is my brain is about 5 steps behind what I'm actually doing. Level 57, if you remember I picked Arcanist as the second mastery. At the moment I'm concentrating on leveling the mastery up with 1 point each level up and leveling inner focus up 1 point each level up. Here's a shrine in Malmouth outskirts, needs an ether shard. The whole area is a bit of a maze, but if you get up to the rift and then come down southeast from that, you should find it. Because I've completed Behemoth, I've now got access to Abomination and that Ugol thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete the left hand side of Abomination to get the acid skill. I'm going to complete the whole of Ugol, and I will still have 4 devotion points left after doing that. So I've kind of done that in a bit of an optimised way. This is where you come to get Dravis's note. That's an item for this secondary quest for Dahlia, whatever. There's also a boss in here, Turnox, and he's dead. There's Dravis's letter, it's always there on that thing. It's another quest item you can stockpile as well. You can go back there, restart the game, go back there 3 times in normal if you want. Then you can hand it straight to her in Elite and Ultimate without going to fetch it. There's the rift, there's Olgrim. On it back over Seatal, you hand this quest in, and then that's her done until we meet up again near the Corben City ruins in Forgotten Gods area. That'll be much later. Here's this mountain boss. Stuck the video back onto normal speed so you can see how quickly I take him out. That's not bad, he is pretty tough, usually. And you fight your way through the sewers, you eventually meet up with these guys. They're a bit annoyed. I'd be annoyed if I had to live in a sewer because aliens had invaded, but you know, you play the hand you're dealt. This Willful guy, he's alright. He's got a few random secondary quests. The first one's annoying, it's one of those find 3 things and it gives you compass points to find them at, and of course the compass points you might as well just ignore and just run around, wait till you see the stars on the map.
That skill's not bad.
Meanwhile it's level 58. Same point distribution as 57. Attribute physique, 1 point in the mastery, 1 point in inner focus. That hat I've got on there, the only reason I put that on is because it had a heck of a lot of spirit. I'll get a shot of that and get something a bit more sensible as soon as I can. There's a quest up these stairs. You go in this door, talk to this guy. Now I've tried using the same conversation options over and over. Sometimes it works and sometimes he turns hostile. I don't know the answer to this and I've never looked it up. But if he starts turning hostile, well, I just generally tend to leave him alone. Don't start the fight. You don't get any rep for it, which is a bit sad. See that gold star on the mini-map? There you go. That exploding wagon. You've got to find 3 of those wagons and blow them up. And they're all over the place, different places they can be. I can see another one on the map there, but I couldn't get to it. Sometimes you can lob bombs or shoot off the top of buildings. I think I'll get the last one like that eventually. Most of the time you've got to get to where they are. Here's the bridge keeper guy. This is another quick boss fight. Chuck a poison ball at him, run away. I always get hung up on those steps. Get hung up on every set of steps and bridge in the game.
I was beginning to lose greed.
Meanwhile, back in the sewer, go and hand this in. What this will do now, this will open up the exit over on the west, well, northwest, just from where I am now. Before I do that though, I'm going to nip out and do a clever long shot to get the final wagon. I was impressed with this, impressed with Dreeg's Evil Eye's lobbing ability. Here we go, whee! Now I can carry on with the main quest. Right, open the gate, get glitched up on it a bit, run outside, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff coming out of the rift. So run around in little circles, chucking your ball of glop at them until they go away. Randomly run up the steps because cheers game. There you go. And there's a whole bunch of people here wanting you to do things. They're friendly with me. That's nice. Kill a bunch of stuff and people will be friendly with you. That's how life works.
There you are.
She's saying talk to Wilfor. He wants... There's 2 things he wants you to do. Collect some stuff and rescue some people. You could call this game the collecting stuff and rescuing people game. Yvonne's quest, that girl that just gave me that weird quest to go and find something. There is a secondary objective to that where you can lie to her, keep whatever you found, go into some other area, do some stuff. I don't bother. I mean, you can do it, but for the extra bit of XP and a few undead kills, it's not really, I don't really think it's worth it. I'm not saying don't do it, I'm just saying I don't think it's worth it. It's a triple rare. Here's another quest. Rescue this one, leave this one to die, go and find his stash of stuff. It's pretty grim, isn't it? If I was going to make a game this grim, I'd make sure the word grim was in the title. It's a 4,000 and something XP lore note up here. 4,800 XP lore note, excellent stuff. Read books, get XP. Yeah, that was the second thing that Wilfor wanted you to find. You can rescue the people before he asks you to rescue the people, which is handy. Stick of dynamite, kill a bunch of things. And then that guy who was, you know, the dying guy who said go and get my stash, it's in the corner there. So if you didn't even bring any dynamite with you, there was some lying around right by it. So you blow that up, go in here, get your XP, get your loot. 59, same old thing, physique, mastery, inner focus. Where I'm heading now, I'm heading up towards the target area of the main quest, but if you double back on yourself from here, you can get into an abandoned lighthouse. It calls it a lighthouse, it doesn't look much like one, perhaps it does. There's a shrine in here though, so it's important to go in. And there's usually a boss in here as well, if he's not somewhere else. Technically a one-shot. Pick his stuff up, go and find the shrine, fight the shrine wave. Yeah, this was one of the points where I was thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead. Because I get this shrine and then I have a look at Abomination and realise that I'm only 3 points away from that skill. You can see how my brain's working. I'm thinking, how do I get that? Where do I get those points from? Will I have to nip into elite? Probably. That's the first bunch of people Willful wants you to rescue. There's a building up here on the left with Yvonne's memory in a chest. Now, if you haven't got the quest, it's not there. It's one of the rare items that work like that, where you have to have the quest to find the item. It's also that gold chest is always there. It's not in random locations, it is always there. So you make sure you nip around and get that. Then go and get your bomb, blow up the gate. Keep your main quest progressing. And immediately after this you'll have another one of these. Go and do the north thing, the east thing and the west thing. And they are always in the same place. There you go. Go and blow the vents up. So that quest has now appeared.
Good work out there. You can
Talk to Willful. Yeah, so at this point you could lie to her and say I couldn't find it, but I never really... I've done it once just to see what would happen and I wasn't particularly thrilled. I'm now going to go and find the other people that need rescuing. So what I'm trying to do is get up to Respected. You get to Respected and you get the Blackiron Docks quest. That's Willful's second person who needs rescuing. Go back and hand that in and that's all the Willful stuff sorted out. You can now go and talk to What's-Her-Face up there, but because you're not respected, she won't have another quest for you. You have to come back when you're respected and then she'll have the Blackiron Docks quest ready. So meanwhile I'm going to nip up to Crown Hill and go and get the vent that's over on its own over here to the west, well the northwest. I tend to do it this way. I'll get this one and then either go off and do something else or just go and get the one that's more to the east and then head down to the last one, which is the closest to the entrance to the end of level boss area. So that's that one done. Now I'm just going to go and get the one that's closer to the rift. It's just down here. You can see it on the map already, that gold star. I'll get close enough, I'll just charge up and smash into it. This is heading down towards the third one. There's a few things on the way. There's a shrine and there's Valexteria. But what I do is after I got this shrine, I'm so close to finishing off Abomination that I dip out of normal for a while, head into elite. Just do Valexteria first. That's pretty quick. Blink and you miss it. Yeah, the other thing I'm trying to do is get Coven Rep up because there is the quest to find the other you, which is in the same area as the end of Malmouth quest bosses. Level 60, getting there now. Attributing to physique, same thing with Arcanist, 1 point in the mastery, 1 point into inner focus. I took a bit of a detour, went into the Ancient Grove, do a bit of shopping. Look at that thing, Caustic Leaf Main Horn of Corrosion, that's just amazing. Arguably I shouldn't be wasting my time trying to get continually better stuff in normal. But the trouble is, compared to Sister Crimson's Scepter, which is fairly easy to get to when you get into Elite, you've got to get through the whole of the base game in Elite before you get back to Ugdenbog. So getting the best one of those things you can is worth doing. There's a Hooded Dreeg. Although I bought that recipe, it takes 7 Blooded Chthon. I couldn't be bothered. Well, I noticed I had over 100 scrap knocking around, so I got plenty to spare for the 40 needed to get into the Bastion of Chaos to get this rift. I'm pretty sure that's all the normal rifts done. There's 47, well, apart from the ones from the Forgotten Gods area that I haven't reached yet. You blow your 40 scrap fixing the bridge, and then you go down to, well, for me this time round, the glitchiest portal ever. I'm just clicking on it and not going through it. The Bastion of Chaos challenge dungeon is behind the skeleton key door. You don't need to go through the skeleton key door to reach this shrine, which is really great. Makes up for the dodgy rift trying to get in. And I'm still 1 node short on Abomination of that skill. So this is the point where I thought, oh god, I'm just going to go into Elite and get the one by Villoth, because that's open. I can just go in there and get it. So kill a few of these boys and then nip into Elite. This is in Elite. Check top left hand corner of the screen out. I'm going to go and get Villoth. While I'm on my way there, I get to level 61. A milestone, because instead of just putting 1 point in Inner Focus, 1 point in the Mastery, I just put 2 points straight into Inner Focus and maxed it out. Check me out. Revolutionary gameplay. And there's Villoth. Speeded up boss fight, makes me look better than I am. But he still didn't take long to kill. And then the real reason I came in here, that shrine, there we go. And I finished, well, I'm not going to put any more points into Abomination because the right hand side's Chaos, left hand side is Acid. That is done. I've stuck that onto Scorpion, what's it. Later on, I start experimenting and changing them around because what it does is that big green nuclear blast. So when you charge in, it adds that on. Later on, I've actually attached it to Dreeg's Evil Eye, because although it's centered on you, if you're standing in the middle of a bunch of enemies and you fire it off, or if you run up to a boss and headbutt him and fire it off, you're laughing. And I've got the Blackiron Docks quest. What I've done here, I've just stuck a note at the top, my route to Blackiron Docks. I haven't edited this, so if you want to find out how to get from the Crown Hill Rift to the Blackiron Docks entry point, because the game doesn't tell you, if you follow this route you'll get there. There could possibly be a slightly quicker route, but this is how I get there because it's fairly straightforward. And you're going back the way you earlier came, so you know pretty much where you've got to go. Honoured with the Black Legion. Often when I get to Honoured, I will stop whatever I'm doing and nip across and buy the Writ to get that extra 50% rep, but I don't really want much from the Black Legion at Revered status, so I'm not in a rush to get there. Quick boss fight on the way. And you get to this door. See that double doors that's open I just went through? When you originally come here, before you get the Blackiron Docks quest, those doors are locked, you can't go through them. You have to get the quest off What's-Her-Face and then it will open. Then all you've got to do is work your way up from here along the front of the dock area. You'll get a whole bunch of enemy waves spawning, plus the ones that are already sitting there to start with. Just kill everything. It's not exactly subtle. And that's it, they're all dead. Map back to her, talk to her, she will say well done. You get to Honoured, you get another quest offer, but trying to grind your way up to that not worth it. You'll probably get to honour doing this next bit. So this is the route to, well, this is where you go to head towards the main end of DLC boss fight, and there's some other stuff on the way. Because I picked that quest up to go and find your other south thing. I didn't record the footage of me talking to the lady at the coven, but she gave me this quest. This Veloxtria or Alostria, whatever her name is.
So precious.
So that one shot put us straight into a second phase. And this one shot, that one, finished the second phase off. Here's Flesh Weaver Krieg. He's another one shot. There you go. Tries to do his bullet hell thing but dies anyway. Then you've got these two bosses that you need to kill that are wandering around in this area before the door opens to Theoden Marcel. So there's one down. And where's the other one? There he is. So they're both gone. So all I've got to do now is kill this guy in here, and that is all of the Malmouth campaign stuff done. He's a 3-phase boss. That's the first phase down. Here's the second one. I'm just waiting for that finger pointer to turn into a sword so I know I can attack him. There you go. Second phase down, flat on his back. Third phase. It can be nasty if you give it a chance to body slam you, but if you kill it quickly enough, it doesn't even try and do it. There you go. Good night. Level 62. So yeah, I just put 2 points in the Arcanist Mastery on this level up. Trying to get up to... What am I trying to get up to? Mavens. And that's it. That's the end of the Malmouth campaign stuff. That's level 62 and that's the end of this video. Thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next episode.